Hey everybody, it's Jeff White. Listen, I wanted to say hello and welcome to our top team hangout for Monday night. I always say this, but every week it seems to get better and better with the people that we have on our call. And I think tonight is going to be really a treat because I have some rock stars on here with me. I actually have a gentleman on here that's going to speak at the end. He's the guy that's responsible for me even pretty much having any type of success in DSD INFINii. And if you're watching this, DSD is sort of a subsidiary of INFINii, and I owe so much to this guy. But first of all, let me just give you a little introduction of myself. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jeff White. I'm here in Mississippi, believe it or not. I've been online since February the 10th, 2012, and had some phenomenal success when I first started. I quit a job making, I was actually in the golf industry, working for a company called SkyCaddy, skygolf.com. We made the first GPS device for the golf industry, and I was a sales rep for them, making really, really good money, flying all over, doing shows for PGA Tour events and things like that, and taking my family with me and just having a great time. But that company actually started to have so much success that they put more money into their advertising on television than they did into their sales force and things like that. So went from a job making $70,000 to $150,000 a year to a job making $30,000 a year, and needed to make some changes. And so I walked away from the job and logged on to the internet. Didn't even know how to create a Facebook account. And two and a half, what's this, 2012, about 2.5 years after that, I got started with INFINii and DSD actually, and now INFINii. And I think to date, in 2.5 years, all of our sales and commissions that we've accumulated here, we're close to $500,000 in sales and commissions. And so I want to just, I just want to just, sometimes I have to pinch myself because you just can't believe it. But I went through some tough times, and this company helped me out of that. Me and my wife got together one night when we first started with this company 2.5 years ago. We had some eBay training, and actually Jim was the one that sent me that training. He sent me the training, and I didn't even look at it for like 2 weeks. And he said, "Man, I'm telling you, it's good. We're going to use it for this funnel." And we were talking about other things we're going to do with this as like a front end funnel for another company that he and I were in together. And I was in such a bad situation financially because of so many things that happened in 2013 that I really wasn't listening to what he was saying. I thought about eBay as something that you get stuff out of your garage, or you instead of having a yard sale, your wife takes her old purses and things like that and put them online and sell them. That's the only thing I thought about with eBay. But when we started, we needed to do something. We're in a situation where our house was about to be in the foreclosure, and just had to do something. I'm sure all of you, if you're listening in, you've probably had a situation like that, or you know someone who's had a situation similar. So me and my wife got started. It was on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and we were listing an item. We didn't know what we were doing. We were following the training just like it said, and we finally got this item listed. It took us like 15 minutes to list the first item. Now, after we started, a few weeks later, we were able to get listings up within 2-3 minutes, but that first night, we were real meticulous, trying to make sure we did it right. And while we were listing our second item, the first item sold. And I remember my wife just like looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm saying, "Wow," And our sale, after we paid our PayPal fees and all of our expenses and things, I think our profit was only like $2.40. But we were so excited about that because we always thought of network marketing or working from home as something where you have to do home parties, or you have to call your friends and your families, and you part of that what they call the NFL, the No Friends Left Club, before you know it. Or you ambushing people at Walmart or Sam's Club, or if you're in a place where they have Costco's, or You know what I mean? So we thought that was the only way to make money with network marketing. And so when we found out that you could do this with no recruiting, you don't have to tell anyone. You and your wife or your husband or your spouse or your children or your whoever, your grandparents can get in a room, can listen and watch the training, and then they can get started with this thing, and they can start generating income that can change their life almost instantly. And so that's what happened with us. And since then, we have just been sharing this with people. I have a team now that I looked at my binary a few days ago. I think we have about 30,000 people all over the world, and it only started with me sending a link to one person, just one person. It's basically the same thing that Jim did with me. It's the same thing that I did, and I've been doing it ever since, building huge teams, all types of people having success, and you're going to hear about some of those success stories tonight. And so with that, I want to bring on our first a person that we're going to profile tonight. Her name is Camille. She's a part of Top Team, and she has been rocking this thing out. And so Camille's going to come out and tell you her story, and listen really close to what she has to say, because it may be something in her situation or her story that may be similar to yours, and it may touch your heart. So with that being said, Camille, come on out and rock it out for us.
Hey, can
Hey.
you hear me?
Yes, we hear you just fine. Go right ahead.
Okay, great. Hey, y'all. I would start off saying that I'm a senior at the University of Illinois in Champaign, Illinois, and my first 2 years of school, got here, found a job, started working. Was working at the dining hall cleaning dishes. I liked it a little bit because it was fast work and we got to listen to music while we did it. But during that second year, I got sick. I was hospitalized and I couldn't work anymore. So even though I let my job know that I was in the hospital and this and that, they still decided to fire me. Even though, I mean, while I was working, when I got paid, it was like $120 after paying my phone bill and getting my stuff that I needed. Only had like $20 left. And growing up in a family where that's common, paycheck to paycheck, I was just tired of it. I was just really tired of it. So in 2013, my brother and business partner Michael, he came to me with network marketing, and he shared it with me, and I was like, I was praying to God already, asking him to send me opportunities so I can make money, so I can help my family, so I can pay off these student loans, so I just don't have to worry about money ever again. And so when he told me about it, I jumped on right away because, like, what do I have to lose? I already didn't have nothing. So I jumped on. I was with Wake Up Now. That went under about a year and a half into it. 2015, Disrupt came up. I was part of Disrupt, and I was doing good as far as getting prospects and stuff like that. But how how people are, they say they're gonna do it, then they don't, and then people pull out. And so I just didn't like that you had to, like, going through Disrupt. I didn't like that you had to recruit people all the time, and so they got very tiresome. And I was just, towards the end, I was losing hope in it and stuff. I was wanting to give up and everything. And then my awesome mentor Christopher, sorry, my awesome mentor Christopher McCoy, he brought INFINii out to me. He was already a part of DSD back in 2013 when it first started, and he brought INFINii out to me, shared with me the success of it, and how great it is, and I jumped on right away. Soon I got my items listed. I watched the training, and I just went right in. So my first month, I listed my items. I think I had like 5 items to list. First month didn't do so well. One reason because I went too fast. I was too excited. I went too fast and I listed them too fast. So I didn't really sell anything. The stuff that I put up there was stuff that wasn't, that people wasn't buying, and it just wasn't a good selling item. So my first month didn't really make no money. Got in the second time, got in the following month and listed some more items, and I sold my first item the next day, right after that, and then sold another item the next day. So what I learned from that was, uh, just take your time, like Jeff was sharing earlier. Take your time when you listing your items and stuff like that, so you don't encounter those problems is that nobody else on my team had to ever go through that anymore. That issue because I did it already. And so after that, making sales every other day, sometimes every 2 days and stuff like that. And so it's just been that's what I love about INFINii is that I don't have to recruit. Everybody knows eBay and Amazon. Just say that to them. Hey, do you know eBay and Amazon? Do you know you can make money on it? That's how I got most of my prospects. That's how I got most of my leads. But like I said, if nobody ever said they want to do it, also they can just come in as a customer, and start selling right away. And that's how I make majority of my money right now. And so I'm just loving it. What I'm looking forward to now more than NBA and going on those shopping trips and making bigger profit margins. So that's pretty much my story. I'm just looking forward to growing even more and scaling up my business and seeing y'all in June down in Dallas, Texas. So
Sounds good. Hey, that's fantastic, Camille. And look, you talked about the e-commerce side, and you also talked about being in other companies where you're always required to have to go out and ambush people at Walmart and your local Kroger stores
yeah,
in order to make money, because most people, that's what everyone is used to when they think about anything that has a network marketing or
yeah.
MLM, or but what is it that makes this business so easy for you to refer people? Because I happen to know that you have also been bringing people on board on your team. So what is it about this business that makes that easier than in traditional MLMs? If you don't mind answering that.
Yeah, like well, I'll just elaborate on what I said before about everybody knows eBay and Amazon, and basically what I do is when I share it with someone what I'm doing, I say, "Do you know eBay and Amazon?" And they say yeah, or they say no. But then I go along with I'm making money and I show them the proof, like I add them to my Facebook and they see all the proof in the groups or the proof that I'm showing on my pages and on my Instagram. And so what makes it different from any other company is just that, I don't have to rely so heavily on building a team before I can make money. I can make money and then build a team or choose to if I want to. The team part is really a bonus. You really don't need it if you take advantage of the e-commerce side. And so like that's the biggest part to me. That's the biggest part that I love is that I can make money without it. And there's so many platforms that you can use like eBay, Amazon, Shopify, Bonanza, anything. I didn't even know about Bonanza. Most of these other platforms I didn't even know about until I got into e-commerce with INFINii. So I'm just happy for that part, for making money without building a team, because that was very difficult when you're dealing with people and people are not, communicating and so forth and so on. So
Absolutely. And you know what I figured out, Camille, was when I was working with companies that pretty much required that you recruit people in order to make money. What I found out was that once you take that variable, I guess you could say, out of the equation, once you tell people they don't have to recruit, one of the first things
mm-hmm.
they do when they start having success, guess what they start doing?
Start recruiting.
They start. I mean, because it's not really recruiting. What you're doing
Yeah.
is just selling. You're just basically telling people your story, and if your story
Mm-hmm.
connects with them personally, they say, "Hey, this guy, or this person, if they can do it, why can't I do it?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. A couple people I told about the recruiting side, they really loved that. It's like no recruiting. Like my friend Mike, he's gonna be coming on pretty soon. But when I first told him, he was like, no recruiting. I was like, no, man. He couldn't believe it at first. He was like, I told him about there is a network marketing side to INFINii that you can recruit, but it's optional. He was like, you sure you ain't got to recruit? I'm saying, Mike, really, you don't have to recruit. A lot of people are very surprised, and that sometimes holds them back at the same time because they're still skeptical. But after a while, you showing them your results, you showing they get on real.
Can you hear me, Camille? Because it sounds like you sort of cut out on me. Uh,
Hello.
are you still talking?
Oh,
I think it might be when you are
okay.
kind of close to the to
No,
the.
I had just said.
Okay, go ahead. We can hear you. I think it stopped on you, Camille. But listen,
Can you hear me clear now?
yeah, I hear you now. Go ahead, say something.
Okay, great. I just basically said that when people, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
yes, I hear you.
it's clear now.
Yes,
Okay. I just basically said that there was no recruitment of people that came from other network marketing companies. They really didn't believe it because they're so used to having to recruit to make money. They really didn't believe it. But once you show them the proof and they see the proof and you just share your story like you said, start making money with us. So
absolutely. Well, listen, I want to
yeah.
personally thank you for coming out and having the nerve to come out here because it takes a special type of person just to put themselves out here and even if you don't show your face, you don't have to do that, but just telling your story is powerful, and we appreciate you coming out and look forward to seeing you have just tons and tons of success and just making all of the money and helping other people make as much money as they want also, okay?
Thank you so much, Jeff.
All right. Thanks a lot. And you should just mute out your phone and I'm gonna introduce your sponsor here, Mr. Christopher McCoy, and then we're gonna
Okay.
get Jim. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Hey, hey, guys, listen. I want to introduce another person that Camille talked about. He's one of the. I think he's probably out sponsoring everyone in our group right now. Everyone needs to just look at this guy and say, hey, this is the person that I need to ask. What are you doing to bring so many people on board into INFINii? But he's also just a great guy, great mentor for his people. No one has to motivate him to do anything. He just does it anyway. He's just a doer. And also a good friend of mine, Mr. Christopher McCoy. So, Chris, if you're out there, man, and if you can hear us, please unmute yourself and say a few words for us. Thanks.
All right, awesome. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We hear you loud and clear. Go right ahead.
All right, awesome. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on this panel, and I'd like to give again a special shout out to Camille Travis. It's these type of stories that I love to witness and hear, and it's very great, as a coach or mentor to see, when you put in a lot of effort into the people who are willing to win, the people who are willing to be coachable, the people who are willing to take massive action, and you see the fruit of their labor. I mean, there's no greater feeling. And I've been knowing Camille for a very long time, and I've seen her struggle through this industry. And just like some of you out there, you probably tried different things, and you got tired of, if you're a teacher, becoming a nutritionist, if you're a barber, becoming a darn physical education specialist, or what have you. And that's why I love about what INFINii has to offer, is because we keep it simple. So to answer to one of your questions, it's like, well, Chris, how are you getting a lot of people into your team, into your business? Is that it's very, I mean, the business pretty much speaks for itself. All right. I mean, everybody knows about e-commerce. Everybody knows about shopping. People know about eBay, Amazon. That within itself, ladies and gentlemen, has brand recognition. All right. It's not like some of these companies that was like, okay, I know this company has a funny name, but okay, what am I actually doing? Am I a agent? Am I a nutritionist? Am I a dermatologist? Or, I mean, what do I do? So it kind of takes that whole, what do I actually do out of the arena when we have a system that says, hey, listen, you can make money on eBay and Amazon. Just follow a step-by-step process, and that's what really got me hooked on this because it's so. They break it down Barney style, maybe a little bit of Sesame Street on the side. All right, it's actually left foot, right foot, step-by-step, streamlined process to help each and everybody out there to become profitable in the e-commerce arena. Okay, and just like Jeff said, when you're out there, you're having success. When you're having success, you can't help but to share it to the world. Okay, versus people out there, and I know some people out there. We out there trying to preach a dream when we live in a nightmare. All right, I mean, how can a person out there tell you, oh yeah, you can make millions and thousands of dollars if they can barely make a hundred themselves? Okay, and that's what really a lot of people really loves about this opportunity is that it is simple. It is simple. It is streamlined, and anybody who can put in the effort can do it. And most of all, people are seeing very quick success. All right. Sometimes people have success within 24 hours. Sometimes it takes a person, a month, to get it together. But as you heard what Camille said, that she recognized, and see, that's what I love about this business with INFINii. Okay, she recognized the problem versus like some of these other companies is that, oh man, why can't I get my 2 people, my 3 people, or whatever the case it is, and you going back into your personal development, you're going back to the same old, okay, systems that you're being taught, and you're still not going nowhere. That's why it has a high failure rate that it has out there in most of these companies. But here with INFINii, they actually teach you the skill sets to say, okay, this is what you need to do. If your items are not selling, if you're not making X amount of type of dollars, this could be why. Okay, this could be it. So not only that, here with Top Team, we have support group. We're a very family-oriented type of team. Okay, we help each other. Even if you're not even financially tied to one another, the family atmosphere here with Top Team, we help you out. Okay, it could be something as little as your titling, or you probably selling too high, you're selling too low. We are here to help you, man. So first and foremost, man, it's just the simplistic nature of INFINii that really kind of piques a lot of people's interest, because a lot of us are used to buying things on Amazon, buying things on eBay, but not too many people know about there's a seller's there's a money making opportunity on the other side of the spectrum.
So Chris, as always, I know you want to talk about that yellow button, so go right ahead.
Yes, indeed. And ladies and gentlemen, I mean, especially a person of who I am and what I've done, building the team is very effortlessly. You don't have to really, twist anybody's arm or put them in a figure 4 leg lock and try to get them to join your team. You don't have to put somebody, trying to choke them to get them a sample of whatever, of jungle juice or whatever case it is. It is really simple to build a team. Okay, if you want to learn how to make financially and time freedom, click the yellow button. Okay, all the training is there for you. Don't worry about the how. We got that taken care of. Okay, you already know what the what. You already see the support. Top Team, big old banner right there. Top Team, that is your support. Okay, INFINii is a great company. Trust me, they pay very well on the rewards side. Okay, but however, to have a very strong company, you got to have a strong support system, and that's what Top Team brings to the fold. Okay, and that was one of the really green light, if you will, of why I joined with Jeff and Top Teams, because I've been in those type of companies and businesses that once you get in, your upline ends up leaving, and you kind of feel like that you're on an island by yourself, and you almost got to do everything yourself. Not over here with INFINii or Top Team. Okay. So go ahead and push that yellow button. Let's go ahead and get you started. Let's go ahead and get you started listening and making money ASAP.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thank you for coming out, Chris, and keep up the great work, man. We really appreciate all of your contributions from every level and every angle on Top Team, man. Thanks a lot. Hey, yes, sir. Well, guys, listen. This is sort of emotional, I guess, almost. And I'm not really emotional type guy. My wife said I am, but I'm not really. But the next gentleman I'm gonna introduce is the person who was instrumental and showing me, I guess you could say, the way when it came to doing things the right way online. He's a very laid back, sort of out of the limelight type guy, but he's powerful in how he builds his teams. He knows internet marketing. This guy went from being flat broke to, at 22 years old, sometimes raking in $23,000 a day or a week. You know, just unbelievable story. He's one of the, I'd say, top five, at least five or less, maybe, internet marketers. When you call people's names about these people who sort of went from rags to riches and help other people become successful online, his name is up there with your Dagan Smiths and your Vince Reeds and your, just these big time marketers, your Ray Higdons and people like that, your Eric Wars. This guy's, I mean, most of these people on his speed dial. Some of them actually, I found out, I actually found out that one of them actually stays right next door to him. One of these people that I just named, one of their employees. So, just a fantastic person. He's my upline in INFINii. He is the #1 income earner in INFINii right now. I'm right on his heels, and he's also is going to just give us some powerful things that we can, some nice nuggets, tell you his story and things like that. I'm going to bring out now Mr. Jim Chao. If he's ready.
Hey Jeff, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Go right ahead. Knock it out, buddy.
Thanks so much for the kind introduction. I remember when we met a few years ago. It was definitely at a place of turmoil. A lot of companies were flipping belly up, and a lot of things weren't going right in this industry, and that kind of thing is still happening today. In fact, we've seen the network marketing company, like Vimeo recently, being shut down, and a lot of things are happening in the industry, and there's a lot of lost people out there looking for a way, and like a lot of people are just basically looking for a way so that they can live and enjoy every single day of their life instead of struggling and kind of running around like a chicken without a head. And I remember when I first started network marketing, it wasn't easy. It didn't go my way at all. In fact, I spent over 3 years in this industry with a combined total revenue of like $3,000. I think I spent way more than that just on events and traveling. And then before the internet came along. I want to shift gears a little bit to INFINii, to e-commerce. I was really good friends with the owners that launched DS Domination back a few years ago, and now INFINii. But when the platform first started, I had absolutely no e-commerce experience. But when I looked at it from a network marketing perspective, it made a lot of sense. As my biggest challenge before this building teams has always been attrition. People, it doesn't matter how big of a team you build, you can talk to the biggest income earners out there. The biggest challenge will always be attrition. At some point, you get to we call it the leaking bucket effect, where as many people you sign up a week, that same amount of people are also getting off auto ship from before. As attrition rate, most people don't stay in this industry for more than 3 months at a time, paying for expensive auto ships. So when the concept of integrating e-commerce platform, educational platform, getting people to make money without recruiting, it made a lot of sense to me, as people would want to stay on the membership if they're using the platform to make money in their eBay business, on their Amazon business, on their Bonanza and Shopify. If they're making money and they need a system to continue making money, why would they get off a membership? So that concept just made a lot of sense to me, and it has been the highest retention rate I've seen in any kind of a recurring program, auto ship program, so to speak. When it first launched, I didn't realize the power of e-commerce myself. I just thought that cool. Average person can make $500 a month, $1,000 a month easily. We've seen thousands of dollars a month. We see superstars racking in tens of thousands, even over 100,000 a month in sales revenue. That's what we saw the first year from some of these eBay businesses. Now, I didn't dive into the e-commerce business until midway past the second year. That's when I started Amazon, and only then did I really saw the power of e-commerce. I was a pure network marketer when the platform first launched, and then I started, learning a lot of information on launching Amazon business, launching brand your own products. In fact, just on my desk right now, like this is one of my branded products. I have so many things in my kitchen right now and living room that are just literally my own products. And I think this is a major shift of wealth. And a very successful person told me before that if you want to get rich, you want to jump right in the middle of a flood of wealth transfer. Wealth is never destroyed nor created. So whenever there's a wealth transfer, you want to jump right in the middle of it and you get rich. So this is the first time in history that I know of that an average person can actually jump into a mainstream industry, things that Walmart sells and Target sells. You can jump right in the middle, brand your own product, and your product would actually be competitive to a retail giant brand. In fact, I have many bestsellers on Amazon that I never knew it was possible. And I'm outselling brands that are multi-billion-dollar brands, and my brand is nowhere close to where they are right now. But product sale comparison, I have products that are outselling multi-billion-dollar brands, and it was absolutely mind-boggling. In fact, my first year, well, the little story I started Amazon, I start launching, following training, start launching some test products, and I want to see how they behave in the marketplace. After some trial and errors, we're talking about minimal time of trial and errors of only a few months. I start scaling and stacking up products, one bestsellers after another. Long story short, first year done over $2 million in sales with absolutely no e-commerce experience. And many of my friends are doing the same thing. I have a lot of friends doing hundreds of thousands a month in eBay sales. I have in fact, I've helped people launch their Amazon business, and now within our first year in business, the company did over $1 million in sales. That's another brand, and I have friends that are getting retail contracts with Walmart and other distribution just because they have made a name for themselves on Amazon and on internet, right? They expand outside of Amazon. Once you start becoming a bestseller, developing your brand, you establish retail contracts, and you establish international supply chains to sell in other continents as well. So it's absolutely amazing what you can do. So I want to get back on track a little bit. I've been rambling on a lot of information. In fact, some of the numbers I threw out may not even be believable, and it definitely wasn't believable for me when I first step into the world of e-commerce. But the most expensive mistake that you can make if you want to launch a real business. Okay, now disclaimer: a lot of these successful businesses that talked about launching e-commerce, including my own, it takes money to make money. So that's why there's many ways to make money in INFINii. Not everybody, to launch a product like this, all right, you're gonna need at least $20,000 to launch a brand. You have prototypes, you have designs, you have distributions. There's a lot of things you have to set up. So that's why there's a lot of ways to make money in INFINii. There are, in fact, most people start off by drop shipping. It doesn't cost any money to make money. You can sell your product first. You can sell other people's product first, okay, collect money, and then use a portion of that money to fulfill the order and ship it back to the buyer, and that's called drop shipping. There are many other ways to make money. You can scan for profit, like Camille said earlier. There's many ways to make money inside a comp plan. I know Jeff made a very decent income in the last few months alone. In fact, I can confidently say Jeff made more than a medium income, annual household income in the United States just in the last 2 months. So that doesn't cost any money to make money, right? That's team building, that's commission, so you could sell stuff. So as you and INFINii is expanding, there'll be digital marketplace, and as you accumulate your money, you can launch your own products, and there'll be legacy brands, right? That won't be depending on, there'll be your own independent business outside of INFINii, and use INFINii as a community to continue to grow as an entrepreneur. There's just so many ways to make money. So back to what I was saying, if you're looking to do a business like that, if you're looking to jump into the flood of wealth that is transferring from traditional brick and mortar business to e-commerce, if you're looking to do that, the most expensive mistake that you can make is not educate yourself first before you fully dive in. So, a platform like INFINii, whether you want to build a team or not, just to educate yourself and start making the little money and get informed and learn about how the heavy hitters are building their product businesses. This is going to be the most efficient and smartest way for you to invest in yourself before you cough out their $20,000 to $30,000 to launch your own product. It costs upwards. I have brands that would cost upwards of $90,000 where I have partners and we all chip in. So imagine how much that would cost you if you don't launch it correctly. So Jeff, I want to bring you back out and see what direction, or maybe if folks have any Q&A. I just want to be transparent here and help folks make their correct decision for themselves. I know that this is a Hangout, and I heard about the yellow button. So there's a yellow button for you to get more information and get signed up with the person that referred you, so that you can be on your way to success, the fast start way of doing it. But Jeff, I want to just turn it back to you a little bit, see if there are anything that you would like to cover, or maybe Q&A that I can't see.
Okay. No, the Q&A, like the on the actual streaming site, there's a place where people can make comments. If you have a comment, you feel free to go over to whoever sent you a link, just go over to that link. And there's a place at the bottom where you can make a comment if you want to. If you have a question, someone there will answer the question. Then we really have people that are always really I guess you say interactive with people and helping them to answer any questions that they may have. But we appreciate you being on here. But I do want to ask you something about the. I guess you could say, when you talked about the like. In most network marketing companies, in most of them that I've been in, a person has to start recruiting almost immediately after they get started.
Correct.
and one of the things that I love so much about INFINii and DSD and things like that was that people were making money just by using the product. Now, when I say that, a lot of people, it sort of goes over their head, because it did with me the first time I heard it. Person told me, they said, we make money with our business just by using our product. And I said, well, what is the product? And they said, well, the product is the training that we provide. But more than that, the product really is money, because basically what we do is we take a person's, let's say a person gets started and they go out and they list something on eBay. And once they sell the product, once they sell the item, then they go back and buy the item. They ship the item to the customer, and they get the money, the difference in whatever the price was. And in most companies, the first thing a person has to do is go out and buy the product. They have to buy some type of starter pack, and then they have to go out and get someone to buy the product from them, or buy the opportunity from them, in order for them to ever recoup any of their money back. So I wanted you to sort of go into what the mindset was when we started, when we were founders in PSD, as far as going back and saying, hey, we want to sort of flip this thing, and the 90% of the people that fail, we want to take that 90% and we want to flip it and say we have a 90% pretty much success rate.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, for me, the traditional model of network marketing never made 100% sense to me. where you build your own team, you build your own network to create a consumer base, because your customers really your team members that are buying these juice packs and whatever product may be every single month to sustain your residual income. That concept has never made 100% sense to me, but like many of you, we go along anyways, just because that's all we know. The system works, and we just kept doing it, even though it never makes sense, and we keep battling attrition rate. With INFINii business model, you teach people this is what anybody would do. So like an average person, Camille is senior year in university, so people don't expect to recruit people when they go to university. The mentality is literally going to university, you get educated, you get a degree, you get something in return. So INFINii is really that system that, in fact, we grew DS nomination with absolutely, literally no mention of comp plan and recruiting for like 2 years. The team organically grew as people, as they feel like they want to tell other people about the system. People join and they dropship. They make money. They make money by dropshipping. Like, there is no recruit to comp plan. Now, INFINii is new right now, and there's a lot of hype on a comp plan, so there's more talk about a comp plan, but we can absolutely grow INFINii by not even talking about the comp plan. Like, people don't even have to know that you could make money by joining INFINii by telling other people, because that's not the reason why people join in the first place. People join because they are seeing all these success testimonials on people making money on eBay and Amazon, and they want to make money too, because they have failed many times in a traditional network marketing business, and they ran out of people to talk to within their circle of influence, and they like to make money from home, just like many of INFINii and DS members. They're making money from home by dropshipping on eBay and doing all these cool stuff. In fact, in my opinion, that's a much better, stable, organic way to grow your business. Don't come into this business think you have to recruit 20,000 people. Just come in and do your part and make money, and just naturally spread your success story, and that will get more people to join in the long run. So you don't even have to look at the comp plan of INFINii to organically grow it, and in the long run, that will be more stable than you going out there and get 20,000 people, and 20,000 people who hasn't make money with e-commerce tell more people, because if you keep doing that, there'll be urban legend that you can't even make money on e-commerce, right? If you have like multiple generation of people who haven't made money with e-commerce, then a few generations later they would be like, so is anybody making money in e-commerce? Then you don't have a single success story. So we do want you to absolutely make money. Now, the good news is, most of people, from my experience, most people make their initial, so the starting package is $50 a month. Okay, so most people I know of make the first $50 profit within their first week. So that is the good news. So as you follow a system, that will spread really quickly, and there's checkpoints in your membership to get you going, and there's forums to keep you on track. Jeff, you still there, buddy?
Yes, sir. I'm still here. Fantastic. And listen, we appreciate you for coming out and sharing your knowledge with us of this, really this whole model, because this model is brand new. That's what's so cool about this. We're actually creating a whole new model. And we have a 90-day challenge that the company has allowed us to participate in, for anyone that's listening on, especially people that may have big teams. And if you're one of those people that hey, let's see.
Let's talk about that for a second, Jeff. That's a good topic. Let's talk about people with big teams that may be on this call.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, there's so many turmoils happening in the industry right now, and many hitters are looking for something stable that they can set their foot in. A lot of people are worried about, even if they're top earners. In fact, I have many friends that are top earners in different companies, and they worry about the next comp plan change, the next FTC strike, and there's just so many things, and just people are leaving all the time, and they're looking for solutions. So I know, like I said earlier, the first thing I saw of DS nomination was a place where I know if I plug my people in, they'll make money. And regardless of how big my check is, at least it'll be stable. And that's really all I expect. I never had high expectations. Everything happened later. When your intention is right, the results will happen automatically, and that's what kind of happened to many of us. That's what happened to Jeff. Jeff, if I asked you, like a few years ago, did you expect to make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and build a team and have residual? That wasn't the plan. That just kind of happened. Is that correct?
My wife and I, and you know this because hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys one other thing. I'm gonna go off to a little bit, but not only did Jim send me the link, because it was like almost $1,500 in order to actually become a member of DSD at that time. He also cut a check to me. He sent me a credit card and said, "Hey, listen, until you get back on your feet, I'll take care of getting you in. But I believe in you, and I know that you're a hard worker, and I'm gonna just put the money up for you." And he did it. And I think 3 months later, I paid him off and also had my house out of foreclosure. But to answer your question, Jim, no. The only thing my wife and I were trying to do when we got it started with this business was we were trying to find a way to keep our home.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. I might get a ton of messages now as but disclaimer, I'm not a credit business.
Yes, you are. No, I just kidding. No.
That is funny. That's funny, buddy. But like what I'm trying to say is if your heart's at the if your intention is right, things will kind of happen. So a lot of us, especially if we're in a more desperate situation, we always think of what can we do to make money now, to make a lot of money now. While it does work at times, and listen, we know what you need to do if you need to make money right now, but to set a long-term goal and stability, your intention has to be right. So the question, especially if you're a big leader in this industry, your question should never be, what can I do to make as much money as possible? Your question for yourself should be, what can I do so that my people will make money in the long run, so I can have a stable organization and continue to get paid. And I believe wholeheartedly right now at the moment, e-commerce is the way to go. Completely legitimate. You setting up a stable business, and all your team members will have their own stable business. They have control over the business, and they'll need softwares and training to make the business work. And that's where your residual will come in. If you're a big leader, that's a no-brainer. You definitely need something like that versus then hoping that the next month they'll buy the next auto shipment juice pack to keep your check alive. That just doesn't work really well anymore in today's marketplace. So listen, there's a big yellow button like Chris mentioned earlier. Get more information, talk to a person who invited you, get started with Top Team. Jeff has a lot of cool private trainings. This includes e-commerce, eBay. Many of his eBay gurus will do trainings and help and support, along with Jeff, the master himself, who give a lot of lead generation and affiliate marketing training and support. So if you're looking for right team or right person, Jeff and the team are the way to go.
Awesome. Well, Jim, hey man, thanks again for being on the call. We appreciate it, and look forward to rolling into Dallas. We're probably gonna just I may come in on a bicycle or something, man. But who knows? I may come in a bicycle or I may come in a Bentley. No, I'm not a Bentley type guy. I may ride a horse or something. But we plan to come into Dallas when our team when Top Team hits Dallas. I want at least 1,000 people making $100,000. I think we have about 500 that are close. So I want about 1,000 people making $100,000, and I really would like 100,000 people making 100,000. But we'll work on that later. But that promotion that we're having right now, if you have a huge team, if you have a large team in another company, even if you want to keep those people in that company right now, or if you want to keep them in that company forever, that's fine too. I have people on my team right now who are big leaders in other companies that have teams that they are referring this business to, that they're using this as sort of a front end way to fund their auto ships. And so that's one of the things that people in I guess in this industry, one of the things that a lot of us have grown accustomed to has been, oh man, I can't expose my team to this because I don't want to lose them. I don't want them to, to start doing this and forget about my maybe you have a juice, or maybe you have a skincare or a tea, or maybe you sell some type of other type of training. But the bottom line is this, guys. It is difficult to get people to duplicate, period. It's difficult. And so while you're building teams of people that are duplicating, you need some type of back end or front end product or system that you can put people in where they can still generate tons and tons of income, even if they don't sign up 10 people at a home party in order to sell a skincare product. Nothing wrong with the products. I use a ton of the different products. My wife uses a ton of the products. So we're not here to bash anyone's company. That's not what we do. It's not how we roll on Top Team. But we are here to talk reality. And the reality is this, like Jim mentioned, like Chris mentioned, like Camille mentioned, it is difficult to keep people engaged when you're asking them to go to Walmart and ambush someone in the aisle, or you have to travel to another city in order to do a home party, or maybe a hotel meeting, or you have to do all of these webinars in order to keep people engaged, or maybe you're the only person doing the webinar. You may have 1,000 people in your team, but you're the only person that's doing it, and you're wearing yourself out. You want to be fishing or golfing or on vacation, but you can't because you gotta be on those calls in order to keep your check coming in. Trust me, we know about all that stuff. So if you want to really put your team on a track to where they can really be successful and have the real success stories, not the fake it until you make it type thing, you may want to get with Top Team as quickly as possible. So click the yellow button. Whoever sent you that link, click on that button and you'll be directly tied to them. You'll be cloaked to them. So it's no big deal at all. But with that being said, I'd like to thank our guests for being on the call tonight. Jim, thank you for being on. Chris, thank you for being on. Camille, thank you very much for being on. It's been a pleasure and an honor for being on to be on with all of you guys. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys. Have a great night.